Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for the Geekenders podcast. MegaRan, Jesse and Dodger, what up? Let's go. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow and see what the Geekenders are all about. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt. Yo, another end of another long week. Got a job and a kid, I know that you all beat. So take a second, grab a drink and vibe while we catch you up in just a matter of time. On gaming, comics, whatever you're doing. If you're nerdy like us, then you know you should tune in. Thank you for sharing our world with us. Now follow, subscribe, and turn this up. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, scream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt.
Welcome to Geekenders.
What up, y'all?
Sorry, I didn't know we were done.
I didn't know where you were going. It sounded like you were ipanini.
Yeah,
you have it like da 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 da. It sounded like you were doing sort of like a tapping on a drum thing.
Yeah.
You were waiting for me to jump in with like.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to lead you astray. Right. We're normally so in sync with those things.
That was the pre-show. We got that out of the way early.
In sync for pre-show, out of sync for actual show, as God intended. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Blessed be. Yeah.
How are you, buddy?
Good. I screwed up today. I made a terrible mistake.
Okay.
I got it in my mind. This is why you don't do this kind of stuff. I got it in my mind last night. Hey, I'm going to wake up tomorrow because I discovered the Nintendo Direct was this morning.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, yo, I'm going to wake up early and I'm going to do this because it says 9 a.m. Eastern. So in my mind, I'm like 6 a.m. But like, wouldn't it be cool if I got up and I streamed that this morning? Now, for those of you who are online at 6 a.m., you know I did not. Instead, I got up at 5 a.m. At 5, if I look tired, it's because I got up at 5 a.m.
Okay.
And at 5 a.m., took a shower, got ready, came to the office, sat down, went to go turn on the stream. The internet wasn't working. It was like the internet was just not working. So, I don't know, 30 or so minutes passed, and finally I just gave up and was like, whatever. So I started doing prep for like news and things. And then I finally got it to work, and I watched the rest of the stream. And it it was a fine thing. At least I have notes from what happened today for the show. But like, yeah, I didn't do anything with it. I woke up early and achieved no real streaming goals.
Not your fault.
And instead, yeah, but it feels like it. I could have just not done it like every other stream. Every other time Nintendo does it, like, we're going to stream at 5 a.m. Jesse's time. I'm like, yeah, all right, I don't care about that. But for some reason, this was the day I thought, I'm going to do it. Yeah. So that's cool. That's fun. Yeah.
Valuable sleeping time.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah. So that happened. And that was that was my morning, and it was not fun or pleasant. But I did, drink more coffee than a person should.
Yeah.
And then
I've also done that and made myself another one. So
hey, that's good. I do have tea, which isn't coffee, but it's like
caffeine.
Close.
More caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at mentally, physically, spiritually. But mistake. I don't know why I thought, like, out of all the things I care about, Nintendo's like further down that list. So I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I thought that'd be fun. Admittedly, it was probably because I want to see more Hyrule Warriors footage. And I did get to see some.
Nice,
which was
good.
Great. But also it was like, why do I don't care. I own a Nintendo Switch 2, and the only game on it is the collection of Super Nintendo games that I ported over from Switch 1.
Right.
Like, I don't know why I thought this will be very smart. Everyone's going to love to hear my reaction to the 8 Mario games they announce.
Right.
I don't play Mario. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So, yikes.
I mean,
whatever.
You know, you're the sort of person who people like just listening to your response to stuff anyway. So people would have absolutely loved to watch that.
Yeah, you say that.
I do say
that. But all it
that.
does is make me feel worse for not actually having a stream.
But that wasn't your fault. There was no internet, man. You did everything to set yourself up for success.
People love watching you. I just spent all morning being like, I didn't even need to do that. It was so stupid. Why didn't? And you were like, but people love it.
If
and
you had done that, it would have been insanely successful. So
why are you like this?
I'm trying to make it better, but I made it worse. And
it's all right. I've done that to you plenty of times. It's okay.
I think that's, a facet of a best friendship,
Yeah, we really try to make it better and only just drive more nails into the coffin.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Yeah. We're helping. We're hammering the best we can.
Right. You're talking while putting the lid on the coffin like, buddy, it's going to be amazing. That would have been so great if only you had streamed, dude, because the people love you. And I bet they were so sad to not see you this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think of all the extra time you could have got sleeping in. Nope, you're awake now, Cox.
Now you're awake. And how much caffeine have you had? Way too much. But,
way too much.
What are you going to do? Do you have left in you for the day? Like 2?
I must stress, I just realized I woke up at 5. It's 8:21, and I've had 5 cups of coffee.
Oh, buddy.
And an iced tea.
Oh, honey. That's a lot.
I'm aware. I said it was a lot.
That's a lot of coffee, man. That's so much coffee.
That's not healthy for you. You're in trouble, buddy.
Oh, bud.
I'm going to have to just drink water the rest of the day. I'm going to have to be like a full-on water boy the rest of the day. It's fine.
I used to, when I was doing coffee time, I would occasionally do what I called a caffeine-free week. And I and some of the viewers, I have no idea. There was no way to monitor it. But we all decided to like pick something to cut down on or go cold turkey on for the week. And so I would have no
caffeine. You picked coffee?
I would have no caffeine for the week. And my headaches were insane for the first couple of days. Like when I get to the point where I'm having caffeine often enough that I get headaches without it, there's a part of my brain that's like, that's an addiction, man. You got to do something about that. And then I try to not have coffee, but then I'm miserable.
Yes.
Because my head hurts so bad.
I'm blessed that I tend to go for more light blends or coffee that most people be like, this is some baby coffee. I'm not a big, like, dark, thick coffee boy. Yeah. I need, a little more watered down. So thankfully, I'm not too much of a mess when it comes to... there was a time when I would be like, morning latte guy and doing actual espresso. And when I stopped doing that, that was end of days. That is espresso caffeine versus like Americano, just normal ass coffee caffeine is a different beast. It's a whole nother level of like, my head.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Oh, it sucks.
I have a vivid memory when I was in high school. My director of the school play that we were doing, I can't remember why, but he like threw a huge fit. Something wasn't going right while we were doing rehearsal.
A director of a school play throwing a huge fit?
I know.
Crazy.
A canon event. And he threw a fit and he was yelling at all of us. And then he was like, and none of this would have happened. And I wouldn't even be feeling this way if I had just had my damn coffee. And I think about that all the time. Like,
What's
this man
so-
truly blamed him yelling at a bunch of students on whether or not he had coffee that day.
What's so funny is you're right. That is a canon event because I just had a flashback to 11th grade in Candy Peas. Shout out to Candy Peas, our theater teacher. She was yelling at like a tech rehearsal thing. And she was like, "Ugh, I haven't had my coffee yet." And that's, I believe firmly that is a drama teacher like canon event of yelling.
You can't get in the
pausing
way.
and saying,
it has to happen.
I need coffee.
I just haven't had my coffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also remember that the thing that tipped him over the edge that day was that I had cut my hair because I was the lead in that play. And no, like, you know, we were high schoolers. So there was no like, and you need to not do anything to yourself until the play is done.
Sure.
I was like, I want to get my hair cut. My mom took me, I got my hair cut, and I walked into rehearsal and he was like, "What have you done?" He was already pissed about something else. And he just like, what?
Oh, it's amazing.
I know. And I was like, well, really
that's
cinched it there.
I'm so curious. Like, I would love to go back in time and have a genuine adult, as an adult now, have a conversation with my drama teacher who was in charge of all the plays and whatnot in high school. Because the way she did it was every year she'd look at who the cast was from the previous year, who the seniors were, and then she'd pick a musical based off of who the leads potentially would be. Right?
Okay.
And so like, you know, based on the cast, she would make different choices. Like one year there was this guy, man, I don't know what happened to him, but he was definitely that like high school kid who everyone thought was going to be like the next famous person.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that one kid.
You should look him up, man.
I don't remember his name to save my life. He was, I probably could deep dive and find it, but he was this guy who the entire musical was based clearly around him being the lead. So we did Damn Yankees and he played the devil. Right?
Okay.
So like that kind of thing. And then you know, every year they do that. But hilariously, for my year, just to show you what a giant like goober I am. Hello, Dolly. And she's like, "Jesse, you get to be the old man, Horace Vander, whatever the fuck his name is." I'm like, cool.
Neat.
Cool. So that's what I got to do. I got to be like, "Hello, Dolly." Like, you got to do all, like, that's not a romance, not a like full on comedy, just like, "All right, old ass, get out there." And I was like, "Oh boy, I can't wait." Right. And then the girl who was like the hot actor girl in our school was Dolly, but then they had to like age her up. It was so I just couldn't. It was so funny. Meanwhile, the play is always things like you know, Midsummer Night's Dream, where like, "Jesse, you get to be bottom, so wear this ass mask the entire time." That kind of stuff. Or one year we did, like, she would always be like, "I'm gonna stick you in the most embarrassing role." One year we did Cinderella, and myself and two of the other guys, no, one other guy, I don't remember how many it were. We were the mice from Cinderella. And I was the big fat dumb mouse. And instead of just putting us in mice costumes, I literally had, they put us in, I had a diaper on. Yes. Mouse outfit, diaper, running around on stage.
Why?
That's because I never said no. I would be like, "Yeah, all right. Okay."
He doesn't
Sure.
wear a diaper in the movie.
I'm aware. We know. But my friend and I, we were like, "Yo, this is going to be hilarious." And I will say,
I get to be
this
the
is
diaper
absolutely,
mouse.
this is a true statement that in 1998 or 99, whenever this happened, compared to today, it would be a different vibe. But I'll never forget, we showed up in our like diapers, right?
Yeah.
And we had to do this like walk around the school thing because he and I were the dudes advertising the play. So we would like go through classrooms and stuff, be like, "You should come." Anyway, one of the teachers, I swear to God, looked at me and goes, "Nice legs, Cox."
What the fuck, man?
Yeah. I must stress the year after I left and went off to college, so many things came out. They for people who aren't aware, let me just my school, the minute I left and went off to college, the next year when I'm in the dorms in college, I'm still talking to people who are still in school there because I had some friends who were like in 11th grade. We're still like, early ICQ chat, whatever the hell was going on then. And they were like, you're never going to believe what happened. Let me rattle off some of the things that happened. The science teacher got arrested for diddling. The English teacher ran away to Mexico with a student. They canceled school dances because girls were selling favors in the bathroom. They like the minute we left, it went like, I think I was the last bulwark against true insanity because I put it all on me. I was like sucking up all of the madness in the school. And then when I left, it was,
I remember us talking about this because we had this like fucked up moment together a while back where you were like, the craziest shit happened at my school after I left. And I was like, the craziest shit happened at my school and I left. And both of us at the same time were like, my teacher got arrested for touching students too much.
I couldn't believe it. Also,
it was a teacher I liked too, which I was really upset about that.
My literal favorite teacher is the one who ran away to Mexico.
It's like, how did I not see that there was something? Anyway,
I probably should have, because he would let us go in and study hall and watch the first season of Family Guy. And I was like, that's not very good teaching. And so I probably should have picked up that he probably wasn't a great teacher, but I loved him as a teacher. I thought he was awesome.
Because he didn't make you do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a whole thing. It's weird because then when I went off to school and I was looking for jobs, when I came back to my high school, because I figured, you know what, I'll put in a application here to teach. Why not? That could be fun. I went to my high school, walked in, and two things happened. One, 80 security guards showed up, which was not the case ever when I was in school.
Wait, so to come to you?
Yes. I walked in the school and people were like, who are you? What are you doing here?
Oh.
Which is a different vibe. So like that was between the years when I graduated and went to college and then came back, clearly the world had changed, which was a weird experience.
Yeah.
But then as I was escorted to the principal's office, the minute the door opens, the secretary's the same. The principal's the same. Everyone's the same. And they look at me and they're like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, hey guys. And I felt like a kid again suddenly, like I'm in trouble. Like Here I am in trouble again. Because spoilers, I got in trouble a lot as a kid. I had one of those, what's the word? I was too stupid to learn good. So me act out in class to get attention when really I should have just been studying. So,
He class clown. He funny boy.
Me class clown. Yeah. Me make joke. No learn good.
He funny. He don't like to listen, but he funny boy.
Yeah, me make joke.
I love that you then became a teacher.
Oh, it is my penance. I'm convinced that the place I ended up teaching at and the students I taught who were all like, if they don't pass, they will never graduate. Yeah, I'm convinced that's some sort of universal karma to be like, no, you were an asshole as a kid, Jesse. So now you have to deal with big assholes. Not just assholes, but like
a
whole class of assholes. Yeah. So definitely had to man up there. I was like,
how long were you a teacher for? How many years?
3 years. Not long in the grand scheme of things, but I probably would have been a teacher longer had I not been let go.
Yeah.
Like had we not had a weird 2010 financial crisis, I'm sure I still would be like, I have a problem in that if I say I'm going to do something, I'll continue to do it even long after the fact that I probably should have given up on it.
Yeah.
And even though I probably should have given up on teaching because like it was the toughest thing I've ever done, I still would probably be doing it.
Yeah.
If I hadn't been literally forced out.
Man.
So like, yeah, I have that problem. I don't know when to give up. I'm like, no, I can still keep going. I'm all bloody. Like, I hear no bell. Yeah. No, that's a foolish thing about me. But Yeah, it was a weird experience going back to my old high school. Like it definitely has one of those you can't go home again vibes. Like the minute I went there, it felt weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything seemed smaller. All like yeah, you know, like when you're a kid, the lockers are giant, and I walked in there and was like, look at this. Who's this for babies? It was a different vibe.
Yeah.
But also, the vibe was different for them too, where they saw me come in and did not recognize or care about me.
Right.
And were like, who are you? What are you doing here? Like they swarmed me like I was up to no good. And I was like, I'm here for an interview. And they were like, all right, to the principal's office with you.
When Sam came to my hometown for the first time, my mom did that classic mom thing. She started watching Geekenders, by the way. Hi, mommy. So she'll probably see this. But she did that classic mom thing where she was like, oh my gosh, you should take Sam to go see your old high school and, you know, the places where you used to hang out. And I was like, sure, why not? You know, any of you who have heard the story about Sam getting into my dad's truck with me and we turned on the radio and he couldn't understand a thing anybody was saying on the radio. It was that same trip because I lived in such a like backwoodsy area and my dad listens to like weird AM radio shit, right?
Hell yeah.
Anyways,
hell yeah.
So I took him by my high school and I also had that weird like chill down my back kind of moment of like, this feels weird to even like drive by it. Feels weird, you know? But imagining going in, I have like a mental reaction to the idea of going in there. I would not because I had a terrible high school experience, just because I don't belong there anymore, you know?
Yes, it felt exactly like you described. You don't belong there.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt as well. And even in the interview, it was very clear, at least from what I could tell, that the principal was like, we're looking for a coach who can also teach, not just a teacher. Like, and I was like, all right, I'm not getting this job. But the conversation we were having was very much along the lines of like, it's weird being back, isn't it? And when the principal recognized that, I was like, we started to have like a fun conversation, but yeah, not a fan of doing that. You're smart not to go back in. It's a weird experience. What
did young Jesse want to do? What was like your dream job when you were in high school? Do you remember?
Oh my God. I think I always wanted to do something in entertainment. I know for a while, my parents were convinced I'd become a politician, but
Why?
the things I say, I would not.
What were you doing that made them go, you should go for government?
I'm sure they thought that because being an actor and or entertainer gets you no money. So I'm pretty sure they were like,
use the charisma somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was always a big concern of theirs, where they were like, we just want you to be able to support yourself. And right. I think that was their big driving force when I was young, which is why I did teaching. Even though in college, I was on a radio station, I was in theater, I did all this stuff, but I went teaching because my parents were like, you got to make money. If you don't make it in the world of acting, you got to make money. And so I just gave into that.
Yeah.
And the minute I didn't have a teaching job anymore, my parents were like, you should really go be a sub or something. I was like, I would rather die. I would rather die than be a substitute teacher. Are you kidding me? And that's when I started doing YouTube just for fun.
Yeah.
And then now here we are.
And here we are, yeah.
It was that moment where I was like, no, Mom and Dad, I will not make you happy anymore. I'm going to do what I want to do, which is this thing. But yeah, most of that was like, your mother and father just want you to be good. I was like, no. I
think that's common though. Young, like the sort of activities that you were clearly doing to make yourself happy, like doing the radio and all of that, things that you enjoyed. I think it's really common for parents to look at that as like, oh, he's got such nice hobbies, but like this thing is what's gonna like get him through life securely, not that fun stuff, right?
I mean, they know me well enough to know, for example, that in college, when we had to do our like acting stuff, there was the BA program and then the BFA program.
Yes.
And because I was like, I really want to be an actor, want to do the BFA stuff. And when I got in the program, I realized that it was like a lot of nonsense work.
Have we talked about this before? That we both got into a BFA program and then dropped out of it?
Yeah. I remember auditioning for a thing and being like, this is stupid. Why am I wasting my time on this? So I dropped out of the BFA and was just like, no, I'll just do BA. And I had so much free time that I got a double major in history. And I was like, the parents will be happy about this. But like, yeah, the BFA sucked. I was like, this is a level of try. It's like, when you're in the BA program for acting, it's people who are like, acting's fun. I like doing this. And when in their BFA program, it's like everyone thinks they're Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, that's so true. Yes.
There's like a level of like up your own buttness. Again, I've told the story a million times. One of the girls I knew named Lauren went away for a summer, got a bit role on a TV show where she was a background character for one season, came back, her name was Lauren.
I remember you saying that.
I was like, this is who I'm dealing with. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that there was anything wrong with the BFA program at my school. Like the way that they were running it and the teachers and everything, like the program itself was good. The issue was, and the reason why they like brought me into a crazy like all hands meeting was because when you go into a BFA program in theater, they make you choose a focus. And I was like, okay, I'll do acting. And so I did all my monologues and they were like, good job, you're in the program. And I was like, yay. And then I continued to do costume design and work on sets and like all kinds of other stuff. And they were like, it seems like your heart's not really in this. Like, we really need you to focus on acting. Are you not going to do that? And I was like, I don't know, probably not. So, yeah.
For clarity for chat, BA is Bachelor of the Arts. BFA is Bachelor of the Fine Arts.
Yes.
And it's just a little like a separate thing that is like, if you're really into acting, you're going to know all your techniques, your Stellas, your like all the different sense memories. You're really going to be able to cry on command by the time you're done.
You can get a BFA in all like a bunch of different art forms. But
it's just like the next level up that you have a really honed focus on the thing.
Yeah. It says to, assuming you want to continue your education, if you wanted to go for a master's, they would look at that and be like, wow, this person really knows exactly what they want to do and dedicated their time at the last school to that thing. So it makes sense that both Jesse and I were like, maybe not us.
It's just, yeah, a lot of it was not what I thought it was going to be. I thought I would be acting, and a lot of it was like, we're going to sit around in a circle, and I'm going to say a word, then you say a word, and then there's 15 words you have to memorize every word and keep doing it. And I'm like, I know this means something. It's probably for memorizing dialogue or whatever, but also, we spent 45 minutes doing this. Like, I could be doing anything else with my day. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I just didn't buy in, and that's fine. I don't have a serious acting bone in me. Like, I like acting. I like the idea that it's pretend and we're having a good time, but also I will break character at a moment's notice to laugh at whatever just happened. You watch any D&D thing Dodger and I have ever done. Yeah. We'll be in the middle of a scene and I'll be like, that was stupid. What are you doing? You know, like I cannot keep in character. I suck at memorizing lines. I'm not like, I'll never be a movie star, but I did enjoy the process of acting. I do enjoy, doing little characters and making voices and stuff, but I'm more of a clown than an actor, I think I've discovered.
I do also think that there are multiple ways to approach acting, and some people do it from more of like a, like feel it in your body, sort of, recall past memory, like method acting falls into that tree, right? And other people look at it from more of like a technical perspective, like yeah, we're acting, but also I'm rehearsing lines and I know where I need to stand, and like I can be a good partner to another person on stage because I know where I need to be and I know what I need to say. And And I think the second one sometimes allows for a bit more play, a bit more just saying like,
Sure.
we're here to do a fun thing or a cool thing or an interesting thing, right? But like, I can detach myself from it. I can just enjoy being here and doing the thing, you know? And I think acting school sometimes really wants to put you in the place of like, do you feel it? Do you feel this right now? You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I think sometimes there's different ways of approaching acting butt heads though.
Yeah, I'm always impressed when I watch, again, going back to like Dead Take, for example, seeing two actors do the exact same line of dialogue completely differently. I love that kind of stuff. I love watching, oh God, who was it? Was it Javier Bardem? One of them. I was watching some actor talk about how like he reads a script 5 times and then he'll go through and like rewrite stuff and do all this prep work so it's in his head. So he's not thinking about lines of dialogue. He's just living the character. And that kind of stuff, I realized my ADHD would not allow that. I just simply could not do 5 read-throughs of the same script by myself. I need people around. I need to be like back and forth with other. I absolutely could not sit there and read it and then break it down and then do the process. Like I just cannot do that and would never do that. It's like, that's impressive to me on a level. I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's the fine arts guy. That guy figured it out. I can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I sort of naturally absorb lines. So I never really like sweat too much about lines and memorizing lines, because let's be real, after you've been at enough rehearsals, you've had to say that shit so many times, dude.
Yeah, it comes like if you do it naturally over the course of like, you know, rehearsal stuff, that's fine. But there's that level above where they're going in and they're like, would my character actually say this?
Sure, yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. And I love that. I love watching actors really break down their character.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's like, not just, oh, I'm pretending, which is how I feel. Again, a lot of me in acting school was me pretending and getting away with it. Just being like, oh, this is for babies. I can do this. I like it. But the reality is that's not acting. That's whatever the hell Jesse was doing. But like acting, when you watch someone do it, you're just like, damn. Okay.
Yeah, when you're in the audience,
I can see why you're good.
Yeah, you just feel the electricity when they're on stage. Yeah, it's different.
Going back through, this is, I must stress, take the time to watch this. Crendor and I watched this a few weeks back. The movie Bloodsport. It's a Van Damme movie. It is a movie that is the basis for Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. All like, it is just, you know, a average bad movie from the 80s. The thing is, in that movie, every actor's like, I don't know, man. We're gonna have to battle. Except Forrest Whitaker is in that movie. And the difference between Forrest Whitaker and every other person in the movie, you're like, oh no, that's an actor.
There he is.
Every scene Forrest Whitaker in, it seems like he's a person who lives in this world. Every other character seems like an actor who was paid to be on set and say some lines.
Right.
And the difference is so jarring that you're like, okay, that's an actor. That's why Forrest Whitaker goes on to act. Right. And why everyone else in the movie is like, all right, well,
bye,
cool.
all done.
You know? Yeah. And I think that's, it's the major difference there. And when you see good acting, you know it. And when you see like bad acting, you know it. And for the most part, I'll be real, not a good actor. I recognize I'm not a good actor. But I can do like, if you got like 6 lines of dialogue, I can do that.
You want me to do a funny
like, Jesse,
bit?
Yes, I got you.
Yeah.
But if you were like, Jesse, carry this production, I'd be like, you're making a terrible choice. Like, you really should not do this.
I feel like you and I both have the energy of like later in life joining community theater and having a blast.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yes.
like put me in a small town version of Oliver Twist. I'll eat that shit up.
Yeah. Who we are. We are the Jay and Silent Bob to your movie. We deserve exactly 7 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
But in those 7 minutes, we're snooching and we're gooching, we're making jokes, and everyone's like, love those two. But if you make a full movie,
if we overstay our welcome, it's bad.
Yes, yes. Which we learned in real life about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit, but don't make a full movie out of it.
That's oh my gosh. That's like it was such lightning in a bottle for an SNL movie to ever do well. You know? Like there were so many SNL skits that they would be like, let's make a movie of this. Dude.
Did not work. Did not work. Yeah. Many
did not work.
The 90s, early 2000s was filled with bad SNL movies.
Yeah.
And there were a few that worked. Every so often, you get a Wayne's World.
Yes.
But for the most
Wayne's
part,
World is, I think, like the top. The first one.
For the most part, you would get, yeah. But you get a lot of like, oh God, what is what is love? You get that Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah.
You get like a lot of those movies were like,
this one. That girl,
Mary Catherine Gallagher.
That was one of them. Yeah.
Not great. But when they went on to do other things that weren't SNL sketches, that were full on stuff, like a bunch of actors who went in and did, Ghostbusters is very SNL. Mm-hmm. You have Anchorman, very SNL.
Yes,
like that kind of. But there's many. You know what? Coneheads worked as a movie. That was fun.
I don't remember anything about Coneheads except that there's a scene where they reveal a baby with a cone head, I think.
Sure. I think that's the daughter who gets born to them and they have to raise the daughter. That's in the first
Milady Conehead.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it definitely goes to show that 3 minutes of hilarity does not equal a full YouTube. Early, that like 2010 YouTube, when it was like, we're going to make a Fred movie.
We're
gonna make an
I was literally like, what was that guy's
movie.
Name? Oh my God, yes. Same energy.
It's like, that's not going to work.
Same
energy. And it
energy.
didn't. No. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3 minutes of hilarity does not equal a full movie. It never has. You really have to hone in and make something good, and that's not the case. Like Blues Brothers as a movie is good because it is like its own. It's not just the goof from Saturday Night Live. They took it and they're like, we're going to make a musical of these characters and we're going to give it a plot. Like it's a different beast.
Yeah.
And so, that's why it works.
Anyway, that's us.
That's us.
Yep.
3 minutes of hilarity forced into a 2-ish hour podcast.
Mm-hmm. Any longer and you would not enjoy it anymore, guys.
Yeah. You don't want the extended Lord of the Rings cut of this show.
No. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
What have you been up to this week? Oh my gosh.
Oh!
Jinx. Padlock. 123 private. That's the new one. Have you heard that before?
No. What do you mean 123 private?
You can't talk, you're Jinx. I'm kidding. Jesse. That's what my kid came home saying. Jinx Padlock 123 private.
Jinx Padlock, I get. 123, I get. Private is so I was raised on a phone.
Yeah.
Like that is so purely of a Generation Alpha vibe.
Yeah. It made me laugh. So
private. No backseat, silence mode.
Yeah, Jinx, you owe me a Coke. That's what I grew up with.
Yep. And no one ever gave you a Coke.
No one ever gave you a Coke. What was up with that? Rude as hell.
You.
Yeah. I played a wild game today. Can I tell you
First
about
off,
it?
all right, hold on. I think I know what you played because yesterday I discovered 2 games that I want to play this weekend.
Okay.
And I'm very excited to play them. The first, of course, being a game. It's an FMV game that I found that I think you should play too because it looks insane. It's called The Fame Game, Welcome to Hollywood.
Okay.
And as far as I can tell, the story is you're a soap opera star who gets a new leading role. But there's like drama and stuff. And then for some reason, every woman in it is in a bikini.
Okay.
I was very concerned it was like erotica. It's not, but it seems like it could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I definitely want to play this because it's supposed to be like, this is what Hollywood's like. So I'm very excited. And then the game you played this morning is on my list to play this weekend, Road to Empress.
Yes.
And I couldn't watch you play it, obviously because I want to play it, but I'm curious what it's like from your perspective.
Oh my God. Yeah, I will be as spoiler free as possible because I really want you to like experience this game. Road to Empress, as in like Emperor, Empress.
Right.
Was pitched to me, and this is exactly what it is, a Chinese historical drama FMV.
Love it. Love it.
Incredible. It is, I believe, based on the life of an actual woman, an actual empress. And so at the start of the game, you take on the role of this woman who has started her life at the palace. And the entire game is you navigating the socio-political landscape of being in the palace and trying to stand out when you should stand out and trying to fade into the background when you should fade into the background in order to survive long enough to become the empress.
Gotcha. Okay.
This is like full on FMV. You are essentially watching a movie and then you have choices pop up that branch off everything, and it's all filmed. It's beautiful. Like it's a gorgeous game, and I can't remember the last time I laughed so much because it is I don't feel like this is a spoiler. It is very much like Long Live the Queen. Not in terms of balancing stats.
Sure.
You don't balance stats, but the number of times that you do something and then there's a whole sequence of you dying and it's like you died. It's so funny. It's so funny, and I won't spoil you on any of that or get specific with any of that. Does it
feel fair when you make these choices? Does it feel like, okay, yeah, that makes sense why I got this? Or is it kind of like, how would that happen? Why would that happen?
I did question a few of them. And I will say that it feels like, and I won't know until I go back and kind of make different choices from the beginning to see how it branches. But right now it definitely feels like I am trying to figure out what the right thing is to do to stay alive, right? To like keep staying alive. And I can't tell if those earlier choices would have still eventually led me to where I am, or if it's like there is always one right answer that will keep you moving forward. I don't know, because I haven't gone back to test that. But I was realizing I don't think I've ever played an FMV that wasn't made in or by Americans or the United Kingdom. So I was like, this is actually so cool to play an FMV from China, right?
Yeah.
With like a bunch of very talented Chinese actors and actresses. There's tons of characters. There's like so many moving, because it's very like politics based. So there's so many moving parts. Yeah, it's really fun. And when you open it up, it has like a mobile game. It'll have like it has like a mail thing. And I clicked on it and it was like, claim your roses. And I was like, is this an in-game currency? So I got a little nervous about potential like in-game currency, like microtransactions in the game. But I have played for hours now and nothing has ever been like
claim your roses.
Claim. Like claiming in a mobile game, like claim your currency, basically.
Sure. Wait, and did you claim your roses?
I did claim my roses, yeah.
Could you spend them on anything?
So as you meet people, you have like a lexicon of people that are in the palace. And there's so much in this game. There are a bunch of little like side videos that you can watch. So you can click on a person and there's a video like a whole separate side thing that you can watch about that character, about their background, about what they're thinking. And when you click it, you can basically like or dislike it with roses. And I don't understand why or what that does for the game. I haven't done anything with it yet because I don't know what it does or if it matters.
That's so interesting. I have no idea what that means.
Me neither. I think there's a lot of branching paths in this game and a lot of different ways to play it because there's like this weird thing in the menu that shows a bunch of different bracelets. This is hard to explain, but I was looking at them before I ever started the game. There's a bunch of different bracelets and each section of the bracelet has a different name to it. And I speculated that maybe each one of those, I thought that maybe this was their way of displaying achievements. Like each one of those is a different sort of ending you could get.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. But I want to watch you play this so bad because I'm
excited to play.
Losing my mind. It's so fun. I think you'll really enjoy it. I think you'll lose your mind in the same way that I was losing my mind playing.
They're both sitting on my desktop. I was like, these two games I must play this weekend because they both look completely different in scope.
Yeah.
But equally insane. Which I love a good, oh yeah, no, we made an FMV game and it's going to be weird. And those are my favorite. I love when an FMV game is like, we tried a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Oh my gosh. It's so fun. And to play an FMV with like an insanely high budget, like there is never a moment when playing this game that I'm like, that looks really crappy. There was only one moment where somebody was messing around with a flower and I was like, is that plastic? It seemed like such a weird thing to like cut costs on because everything else looks so nice. But it literally feels like you're just like playing through a movie. It's wild.
Yeah, I'm always curious how those do. Because when you think about making FMV games, you think like, okay, we got to make it a game.
Yeah.
We have to gamify it in some way. But there are things, just like the game you're talking about, which are just, you're watching a movie and making choices.
It's essentially a visual novel, but an FMV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how well those do. I mean, I imagine they have an audience or else they wouldn't keep making them. But
yeah.
I don't know.
You either need to have a bunch of cool ways for people to die or a bunch of different people you can kiss, I think. And then it does fine. That's my guess.
Note to self. Should we make like an FMV game? It's not even a game. It's just a movie, but there's like lots of people to kiss.
Yeah.
Like the whole game is like just it's like that game where everything you could date everything.
Date everything except an FMV.
Except an FMV, and you can just kiss everything.
The whole game is just a person living through their normal life, but every single person you talk to, there's the option of like, you want to make out? And you just see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
I feel like, but also I really want it to be FMV first person still. So when you make out, it's just someone's mouth right in the camera.
There's like breath marks on the lens.
It's just actors like getting really like real close to the camera. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
want
it
to have that
great.
sort of Love in Deep Space level of the actors and the microphones are like, you're so hot. I want that.
Right.
I want that kind of like, this is
we'll
too
market
much.
it as an ASMR game and everyone will.
Oh yeah.
It'll get downvoted so hard. But then it'll show up. All of the different like websites will then write about it, and then more and more people
all the
will buy
FMV
it.
scenes where they're like making out ASMR, but it's like those ASMR where they make mouth noises.
Oh my gosh!
Like,
oh my god! Yes, we got it.
Now that's a game.
Sleeper hit, man.
Hell
That's the one. That's the one. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
The other game that I played this week, I played all the way through it, is the Off remake, re-release, remaster. I'm not totally sure what they're calling it. Off, the like old indie game.
Huh? Why don't that doesn't ring a bell to me at all.
I was saying while playing this game that Off is one of those weird games where like it is an old French indie darling. It has such a huge cult following, and yet most of the time when I bring it up to people, they have never heard of this game, which is so crazy to me. So this is like an old like RPG Maker style indie game. It is very surreal and weird. In the game, you take on the persona of the batter. The game from the get-go talks to you, the player. So the batter at the start of the game sort of lays out his mission, which is to purify the world, to rid the world of specters and evil. And then the game kind of looks at you and says, cool, so who are you? And then they establish you as the puppeteer of the batter. Like you are helping, you are in control of the batter. The batter is your puppet, and you are going to help him complete this mission. It's very weird. It's one of those games where you finish it and you're like, I really want to go read what people think this game is about. I had started playing it on my channel like 10 years ago. I never finished it. And they re-released it with all new music. For some reason, they couldn't get the rights to the old music. And so they got people like Toby Fox, who made Undertale, and a bunch of other lovely people to make new music for the game. Everyone was nervous about that. It turned out great. I loved the new music. Kept all of the old sprites. They cleaned up the UI, made it so the menus are actually readable. Did a bunch of like quality of life stuff for people to experience this game for the first time. And it was a buck wild experience. It was very fun and weird. And
how long to beat?
How long did it take me to beat Off?
You looked to camera for some sort of approval from me, and I'm gonna let you know I'm above such perversions.
It took me 11 hours apparently.
Okay.
I can't remember if I left it on at any point, but I think it's about a 10-hour game.
Yeah. All right. I mean, like, I bet I could beat off faster than that, but like, yeah.
Yeah, you probably could beat off faster than 10 minutes.
10 hours. 10 minutes? Please. Please. Please.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, if you want to play a really weird little indie game, it is the easiest to play it that it's ever been. And again, this game has been like it's considered a cult classic. It's been around for a long time. And if you are the sort of person who plays a game and wants to immediately read how people feel about it, look at fan art, etc., there is so much. There's so much out there. Potentially, it's a Friends situation. I've said before that I didn't watch Friends until I was an adult, and when I watched it, every episode it felt I was like, oh my god, that's what that joke is from. Off inspired a lot of other indie games. While you're playing it, you're going to be like, oh, this feels a little bit like Omori. This feels, like it's that sort of a thing.
Honest to God, watching like clips of it, seeing it online, I don't want this to sound offensive.
Okay.
So don't take it this way, internet. But the vibe is, when you said 10 years ago, the vibe is
it was
supremely Tumblr game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like during the same time period where they had, what's that show that Octo loves?
Homestuck.
That he did voice? Homestuck. It has that, like, that definitely was on Tumblr, and it's what the kids on Tumblr loved. You know what I mean? It has that vibe, because I don't remember seeing this anywhere at all. I know it existed.
Really surprises
I remember seeing
but if I were to look in the mirror and be like, that's not a Tumblr kid, I would be lying. So
yeah, like I remember the logo. I remember that, but I don't know. I clearly forgot this game even exists at all, but like it looks neat. I love a good weird sort of storytelling, kind of like we're gonna get real trippy with it story. So yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I had no idea it existed.
I mean, potentially, this is one of those situations where, like, again, it's been around for a long time. And, you know, indie games have iterated on a lot of games that came before it, of course. So potentially a lot of people playing this game now would go, okay, yeah, like I've played other games that have done something like this, but more to my style or more to my liking, you know?
Yeah. It's like when you watch an old movie that set up a bunch of tropes.
Yes.
And you're kind of like, oh, cool, neat. But at the time it was groundbreaking. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Silksong, you know.
How you doing? How's Silksong going?
Great.
You stressed? You freaking?
No. I'm in Act 2. I think that's the spoiler-freest way to talk about it. The game is split up into acts story-wise. And as of last night, I am now in Act 2. Yeah, I feel pretty good. There have been a few bosses that I've gotten to, and someone said I thought this was the hardest boss in the game, and I wound up doing all right against it, or at least not like losing my mind, like enjoying myself through the process of beating it, you know. Because I feel like that's the real war with a game like this is like, am I going to reach the point where I fucking hate this fight and just want to do anything to be done with it? And so far, the fights that have been like pretty difficult and taken a while for me, I've enjoyed them the whole way through. So that's good.
Yeah, like you really have to, especially in those games, you have to, the process is the thing. You have to enjoy the process. And if you don't, then you will not like those games. Because there's going to be a moment where you hit a wall and you're going to have to bash your head against it to break through. And if you don't enjoy that stuff, don't play those games because it will happen.
Something that I think is important for people to know if they're interested in playing this game. Well, a couple of things. The first one is you definitely don't have to have played Hollow Knight to enjoy Silksong. You don't need to have played it to understand the world. It establishes things for you. And the second thing is, and I originally felt like maybe this was too much of a spoiler, but I think it's kind of important for people to know if they're trying to decide whether or not this game is approachable for them. Different from Hollow Knight, this game gives you lots of different play styles. So as you're playing, you unlock different ways to play the game, different fighting styles, different classes almost. And it vastly changes how you move, how you attack, how you platform. All of those things are different depending on which one you choose. And so you have options to figure out what feels best for you. One of the options is basically just Hollow Knight. Like if you liked the way that it felt to play Hollow Knight and you're not enjoying the way that Hornet feels to play, you can basically put on the moveset that's just, I want it to feel like Hollow Knight again. And I'll be real, that's the one that I've been using. So I think that's good to know because I think a lot of people have seen, posts and stuff that are like, oh my God, this part of the platforming is just impossible. Like it's so hard. Why is the game like this? And I think it's important to know that you can approach that part of the game in a variety of different ways, and figure out what you like and what you don't like. And yeah, you do have to go through the process of unlocking them. They're not available to you immediately, but they do exist, you know?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos of people being like, here's how at the beginning of the game, this is the exact path you need to take in order to get the Hollow Knight set up. So if you're pissed off and you don't want to have to deal with this, follow these steps, you'll get the Hollow Knight stuff, and then you can play. And I think that's fine and fun. But yeah, watching a lot of people just not struggle, more like give up. You know what I mean? Like they completely have said, it's too hard. Don't like this. This is too hard. Which is a crazy thing in the world of Elden Ring and Sekiro. And like,
Sure.
I almost feel like, did you not play the first one?
I would say that, and I think they're adjusting this, but I think it is true that Hollow Knight did a better job of gradually introducing difficulty. I think this game kind of throws you into, I'm going to do 2 pips of damage every time I touch you sort of fights really quickly. And it's easy to get frustrated for sure. But also, I think one of the, I guess, sort of side effects of having a beautiful hand-drawn game with adorable characters in it, a game series that people love, is that people that maybe don't necessarily like this type of game
we'll give it a shot.
Really want to play it. Yeah, because they're like, oh my gosh, people love Hollow Knight. This game looks gorgeous and everyone's so excited to play it. I'm going to try it. It's only $20, right? And then they play it and they're like, what the fuck is this? Like,
I mean, it does have the hype behind it, but also Elden Ring had the hype behind it.
Yeah.
And people jumped in. And
but I think Elden Ring looks like a game that's going to beat your ass.
It does have that world vibe of like, you've stepped in the wrong place. I guess you're right. Yeah, and this has more of a cutesy. I would say the number one culprit of people not liking the game. You know what? I'm gonna make this crazy statement, but I know it's true. I have no evidence, but I know it's true. That little tiny ding 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 bug, the singing bug. There's so many memes and clips and videos on the internet.
I know.
People see that and they're like, it's such a cute game. And then they go to play it. They're like, why? I am convinced that's part of it. That is absolutely part of the I have no evidence, but I'm convinced a lot of the people saying they hate the game are the people who downloaded the game because that little cutie bug. And they're like, I just want to spend time with my cutie bug. And they thought it was going to be a cute, fun adventure. False.
It certainly is cute sometimes.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You think back to Hollow Knight, the last time we had a cutie pie, that ended up terribly.
You know what's something cool, though? Again, I will try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible, but just as like a side note that I think is really interesting, and maybe I talked about this last time, but something that I think is fascinating about Silksong is I will be playing it, something will happen in my game, and a bunch of people in my chat will say, that didn't happen in mine. I'll go into a fight, and an NPC that I met will show up and help in the fight. And a bunch of people will go, they didn't show up in my fight. And I was talking with Summer, and Summer was like, a bunch of stuff happened in my game that is not happening in yours. And I'm like, how much stuff like that is in this game? Because it seems like I'm only in Act 1. It seems like there are a significant number of things that they built into the game that are order of operations based, right? Like,
yeah,
did you do this and then this and then this? Then this will happen. Did you do this and then this? Then this will happen. Which I find so interesting. And I'm really curious how that develops, if that continues to be the case as the game gets more complex and as you've met more people and done more things. But also, I've said this before as well, I'm really excited when I'm done with the game in a million years, to go online and figure out what I did to make those things happen. Because I don't know. And I don't want to look it up because I don't want to spoil myself on stuff. So, yeah, I'm really curious about that stuff.
Has anyone, this is probably, I'm going to keep this as, don't spoil for me, chat. Has anyone beaten the game? Because I haven't heard any online conversation about the ending or people talking about the game and how it ends. I see that nowhere, which is good, which is great. But like, I don't see anyone talking about it and like, yo, guys, I beat it. Check out this clip of the end, the final boss or whatever. I don't see any of that.
No, I think a lot of people that are playing this game have been pretty good about not spoiling stuff. That being said, some of the earlier fights, people were just posting whole ass clips of themselves doing fights. And I was like, stop that. At least tag it. Like, come on, man.
I will say, I am very excited for the next speed run because
yeah, dude.
Games Done Quick is gonna have like a 50-minute version of this. I'm gonna be like, let's go.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really curious what the record's gonna be for a speed run on this game.
You know it's gonna be fast. It's gonna be something you didn't even think of,
right.
Where they're gonna speed run it in a way that makes you sick. That you spent 40 hours playing, and they do like I did it in an hour. I'm good.
Somebody just said the speedrun record right now is 1 hour 17 minutes.
That's
How?
Hilarious.
What do you mean?
That's so fun. I'm sure
world record is under 90 minutes. How?
I promise you, the minute you figure out the boss mechanics, and then you figure out a map, and then you figure out a way to break that map.
Yeah.
By the way, shameless plug, if you're curious how speedruns work, this Monday on a brand new Tell Me About, I have 3 of the biggest speedrunners in the world coming on.
Oh my gosh.
Yup. So we talk about speedrunning, so you can learn all about it.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah, definitely one of those things where I'm always impressed that because there's a process. It's like play it faster, play even faster, get perfect on like where you can just do the bosses, and then figure out a way to break the game. It's that way every time. Like, okay,
right.
How do we have it takes us 20 hours now. Well, okay, and that's 20 hours of perfect play. So how do we break it every time? And it's crazy how they figure it out. There's websites devoted to like, all right, if you keep walking at this wall on the 3rd frame of this, and it's like, and then you can break through, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Every time. Yeah. Stuff's crazy.
Yeah.
But impressive.
It's a good game. Very fun.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
It's on my list of things that I downloaded for PlayStation, and it's just kind of sitting on my PlayStation at home because I'm like, I'll get to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just busy boy.
Of course,
Busy
always.
boy. Yeah.
I think that's it for me for the most part. Those are the major
Lovely.
things that I played. What about you?
Well, I didn't really get a chance to play anything this week I can talk about. I will say that I did a thing for a certain tactical game that finally is coming out, but that may just be a fantasy. I don't know. And then I downloaded Quartet, which I really want to play. I kickstarted the game a while back, but basically it's like an old school JRPG style game that if you look at the reviews online, people are saying it is as good as like Expedition 33 levels of storytelling.
Damn.
So I am really excited to play it. It reminds me of Final Fantasy VI. I very much want to, but I haven't had a chance. Instead, I spent all week like those who don't understand what sometimes my job is. This is an example. Sometimes if I'm not doing podcasts or editing or reviewing edits or doing whatever, I sometimes have to do insane things. So as an example, some of my producer duties is time to time, I have to go out into the world of pirating and figure out like what's out there and if any of our games are being pirated. Not to like flag stuff, but to be like, okay, what about this got pirated? Why did they want to pirate this? What was the deal here? Just looking up information so that in the future we can kind of like get you to buy the game rather than want you to pirate it. Because on a lot of those things, there's forums and they'll be like, oh, hey, this game's out. And then you can see what people have, said about the game. And so I will go from time to time and just look at pirating forums and whatnot. And that's what I did this week a bunch. And complete side tangent. When you go to look and see what people are pirating, you would think it would be what's popular right now. It is almost always porn games. Sure. It falls under the category of clearly too embarrassed to have this on your friends list on Steam for people to see you play. But they're not good. I look at them and I'm like, this is barely a game. You could just go on the internet and Google this. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But it is so clearly just, that's what it is. That's what people are into. And
you know what
they're all, no, please go on.
All I was going to say is, you know what I found out is you can hide games from your feed. So like on Steam, I didn't realize this.
What are you playing?
I'm not playing anything, but I was trying to figure out, I never realized that this was a thing. But if you don't want somebody to go to your profile and see like all of your achievos in Big Knockers 18, you can like hide it.
I want everyone to see my Big Knockers 18 achievements because
I know you do, but
those.
not everybody does. Not everybody wants that.
I put in time.
Yeah.
For those exactly 10 minutes. I put in for those achievements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's weird, but I also completely get it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very, and that's, that's an example why like Monster Problem is an example because it has endings that are like, it's the orgy ending, even though no orgy takes place and it's just a goofy photo.
Yeah.
Because it has like those keywords and things in it, it will often end up on sites. And most of the time, thankfully, the people who respond to the post of that are like, this isn't even this isn't even porn. Downvote. I'm like, thanks, fellas. You're doing the Lord's work. Yeah. So it's interesting. You would think it would be like the major top selling games, but it is not. It's a lot of games that when you see them on Steam, you say to yourself, what? Like, this looks terrible.
Yeah.
They are very popular to be pirated. And so, yeah, I did a lot of that. And then I spent some time doing a lot of filming for the other show we have, Too Old for This, which I genuinely now have. Speaking of weird,
yeah.
For a while, people were giving me requests that were like, I reacted to this past week. I reacted to like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure song, which was fun. I loved that, but I was like, the song and not the show, just the song. So yeah, all right. And then I discovered this rabbit hole of crazy internet people who think Labubus are evil, which is
I did see your thumbnail for that one. Yeah,
just truly great. But finally, we're back on to some things where I spent a lot of time this week reacting to Italian brain rot, which, by the way, I actually enjoy. It is ridiculous.
What does that mean? Never mind. I'll just watch your video.
Hell yeah. And then a lot of people said, Jesse, you should react to The Amazing Digital Circus, which I had no idea what it was.
Yes.
But now I do, and I'm like, that's pretty good. So that's coming. And then finally, I did, again, this is why a lot of my week was not streaming. I had a full react to K-Pop Demon Hunters, which is an actual movie.
Fun.
So yeah, that's where I'm at mentally and spiritually, where I didn't get a chance to actually play anything.
Because you were too busy being a react channel.
Honest to God, didn't think that. But the whole point was I wouldn't have to spend time doing it. It would take like 5 minutes and I could pound out like trash videos. And Here we are like, we got to edit this, dude. It's got to be, I'm like, what are we doing? Yeah. And then I did a lot of work for outside things that
NDA things.
Yeah, that might be coming soon. But yeah, just again. The last thing I actually did play was with your husband and co. And, Kryken was there and Zeke was there. We played the PvP mode for Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, which there's a bunch of new PvP things, but one of them is very specifically chaos. So it's 2 chaos teams going against each other, and you have to make like, one guy's a heavy, one guy's a sniper, one guy, like you have different abilities, each sort of faction. Yes.
Sorry. I was trying to make it fit in the slot.
What's going on today? Why is everything you saying so dirty? What happened to you? It's like you became me for a minute. I'm worried. I'm worried about this.
Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 PvP was too long. I had to make it shorter, and it fits
too big,
now.
And you couldn't fit it. All right, no, I get it.
It was too big, and I couldn't
trust
fit
me,
it.
I understand. Trust me.
Okay.
Trust me.
As long as we get
I understand about it being too big to fit in the slot. Trust me.
Yep. Why do you keep turning your glasses upside down?
Trust me, I understand. So dumb.
Anyway, keep talking about marining and space and stuff.
So it's so basically there are it's a weird system. So for people who are saying, man, 40k PvP, I really want to jump into that. It's fun, but in order to jump into it, you must have already played, I think, the opening of Space Marine 2.
Okay.
So you can't just go to the menu and say, I want to do PvP. You do PvP from on board the warship. And that's how you get in. So you have to be already in it.
Right.
I think you have to do the opening scene, which is awesome. So just go do that. It doesn't take that long. But like, yeah, if you wanted to play PvP or PvE or any of the modes they have, you literally have to do it from in the game. Anyway, much like how if you do stuff online, you can get sort of like custom builds for your character and make them look how you want. This PvP mode that we played is essentially you're all Chaos Marines, and there's all the different versions of Chaos Marines and all the different factions and whatever. But for the most part, build-wise, there is one where you are like a normal guy with the different guns and a sword. There's one where you can launch yourself at the enemy like a I don't even know, Spider-Man. You go like, yeah, you fly across the screen,
Okay.
and then you can attack them. There's one where it's just a sniper. There's one that Sam played constantly and very well because I think he had like a different weapon. I think as you level up, you get different weapons and things. He had a giant hammer, which none of the rest of us could get, and we were very jealous. So his whole build was he would fly into the air and then land on you and kill you. It was great. There was one guy that had a shield, but the best one that I played, that the only one that I could do good with, was there. You were just basically like every player versus player game that exists right now. The big heavy dude who has the giant machine gun that moves slow, but then he can throw down his shield. You're basically Bastion in Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
Love that guy. You could just like mess with dudes. But the whole point of the PvP mode was that there was a Chaos Brute or whatever the hell we're going to call this guy in the middle of the like whoever got a point would get the Brute, and then the whole objective was to keep getting points.
Right.
So you attack a point and you get points for that, or if you killed the Brute, you got 2 points for that. It was the first one to 9, and admittedly, like all of those style of games, one guy can make the difference. And there was a few of the teams we played against had the one guy who would just stomp us. But with that said, I had a ton of fun being Chaos. I'm so glad we got to be Chaos and not like normal Space Marines, because half our team had like stuff hanging off of them. I made a full set of gold armor. Yeah, you could do like ridiculous things. I enjoyed that tremendously. And then playing with the guys and us just like trying new stuff and trying to do things. Big time fun. I loved it. Definitely like a different vibe, but you're still in Space Marine 2, which again, while we were talking about it, I was like, you don't even need to play the PvP. Just Space Marine 2 alone as a standalone story game rocks. So like, play that. And I still stand by that. The Space Marine series, super fun. Curious where they go with it, but yeah. So they added a PvP thing. Now you can do that. And I played. That was the last thing I actually played before I went on my like, gotta work.
Right. Gotta react to kid stuff. Gotta look at piracy sites.
Yeah, that's it. And now, now this weekend I gotta follow in your footsteps and FMV it up. Very excited.
Oh my gosh. Will you message me before you play the Empress game, please? Thank you.
Oh, yes.
I might be asleep, but if it's around, I want to watch.
Okay.
The only other thing that I could possibly say for me is Sam went to a Magic the Gathering event that was promoting the new Spider-Man cards.
Love that.
And grabbed me some booster packs and a starter deck. So I got a Venom starter deck, which is very cool. The cards look awesome.
They're so funny. Like, the difference between the Spider-Man cards and the Final Fantasy cards is so funny, because the Spider-Man cards are literally just like J. Jonah Jameson being like, "Arr!" Or like a coffee or a pizza.
Yeah,
And you're like,
great.
this is so goofy. Yeah. It looks ridiculous. Big fan.
Yeah. All of the different lands are just like the normal land card, except with the symbol for like the planes or whatever in webs. It's cute. I don't know. It's fun. It's really cute. Some of the cards I was like, oh, really nice.
I must stress, for people who are curious,
Stress it.
what's going on? What's going on with Magic? Magic the Gathering is literally Kingdom Hearts now.
Yeah.
You must understand. There will at some point be a person who shows up to a Magic the Gathering event and be like, yeah, this is my Spider-Man Sephiroth SpongeBob deck. And you'll be like, Kingdom Hearts. Okay, yeah, I get what we're doing.
Yeah. It's great.
Yep.
I remember talking with Amy, friend of the show, Amazonian, when the Sonic cards were coming out. And Amy was like, yeah, Shadow is going to be like an actual commander that people really want for their commander decks.
Yeah.
I was like, I love that. I love the idea of showing up to a tournament and somebody brings out their Shadow commander deck.
The funniest thing is, I don't know anything about the Shadow card, but I imagine Shadow plus gun is a thing. So if there was
God,
a Shadow gun,
so.
if there's a Shadow gun deck where your deck is just a bunch of weapons, like a Shadow weapons deck, that would be incredible. You just play Shadow and then like a bunch of random weapons. I'd be like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
You just keep putting equipment on him. It'd be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, I love seeing what they're doing with Magic. But also, speaking of Amy,
Yes.
posted, I don't know, like a week ago, hey, what MMO should I get into with people? And everyone was like, play 14. And Amy was like, well, I don't know. Can you start like a bunch of questions? And I responded like, I got you. Here's the thing. And after I responded, I realized, what if I just make a video where I say, oh, do you want to play 14? Here's what you need to do to play with friends or how to learn to play. Just like babies first, you're going to play this MMO that takes a hot sec to get into.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, that could be super fun because it's just like, hey, I'm going to teach you what to do and make it very simple. But I also realized that right now, I'm not even sure I want to make that video because I know for sure that when I post it online, half the comments are going to be from like the saltiest MFers who ever lived. They're like, this game's stupid and dumb and you suck. Sell out trying to get people to play the game. How dare you? This game is trash now. You got it. Like, I can't believe you sold out. And I got, and I
say that shit to you anyway. It's okay.
I understand. I just don't want to make a thing that's for new players. And then when new players go there, all the comments be like, garbage.
Yeah, fuck this. This sucks.
Like
That's
that
fair.
sucks. That's not fun. And it's only
Amy
because
did
some people
play 14 though.
That's what I'm saying.
Amy did play and had a good time.
I'm like, you could do a whole thing. Yeah, I don't know. I just am so I'm like so over it. Like, guys,
I know.
you make wanting to have fun so much more harder than it is.
Make it so hard to have fun.
I just want to have fun, and I just want to like, oh yeah, some friends were saying they wanted to play, and now I'm gonna show them how to play, and I know it's gonna be like, I'm not involved in this at all, but this is trash, and you sold out, and you're the like just genuine like. What is your day like?
Yeah.
Like, do you need a hug? What's going on over there? That's how I feel. So I honestly, started to write a script and was like, maybe I'll wait. Like that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
I hate that feeling, but it's like, yeah, maybe I'll wait. Some people aren't in a good place right now.
Yeah. Well, shall we move on to news? You want to talk about the
Why we
direction
shall.
stuff?
Yeah. So, hey, early this morning we had the longest Nintendo Direct ever. And we got to look at it. It really was. They even broadcast it as such. It was a full hour, I believe, which is much longer than they usually are. And we got to see a bunch of stuff. The best part, to be honest, for me, is the very beginning. They had a sort of 40th anniversary celebration of Mario, which is tomorrow. In Japan, Mario came out September 13th, so 40 years of Mario, which is jarring. And at the beginning of the stream, they had a bunch of old artwork and stuff that I guess is at the Mario or the Nintendo Museum that you can go to. It was so cute. Looking at old Mario before he became Mario is like, look at that little guy. What's his deal? Very cute. It almost made me want to go to the museum, and they hyped up the museum a bunch, and they said there's going to be a light show and a bunch of other things that are going to be there. We then learned immediately that the next Mario movie is coming, and it's called Mario Galaxy, of course.
Of course.
And all the cast is returning. Then we got a slew of Mario games. Back to back to back to back. We had Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, Mario Tennis Fever, Wonder is going to Switch, Yoshi in the Mysterious Book, which looked very cute. The literal premise is Yoshi sees a book, and you can go inside the book, and the book talks. So his name's Mr. E because he's encyclopedia. Anyway,
gosh,
very cute.
Stop it.
Yep, love that. Then we got a few Switch titles, including Storm Lancers, which is a 2D anime-inspired side-scrolling beat-em-up. Then we got Dinkum, which is a survival sim set in the Australian outback that looks kind of like a cross between Minecraft and Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
The demo's out right now. It looked like a game that you would play.
Yeah, you can also play it on Steam.
Yeah, it looked like a Dodger game 100%.
It is, yeah, it's fun.
Then there's a game called Poopacom. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
A co-op platformer, color-based shooter. So basically, you can have 4 people, everyone can be a different color, and then you shoot different colored things on the screen, and that's how you beat levels. And so I imagine if you're playing with less than 4, you can switch between the colors and do it. Looked very cute. Looked very fun to play with others. And then Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, finally getting a release date planned for next year. Very cute Meet Character Island game that looks extremely goofy and very fun. Yeah, they kind of went through and said, hey, we have a bunch of casual games for people who just want to chill with their Switch, which is all right with me. Mm-hmm. Then Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is coming to Switch 2, along with Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Then we got an official release date for Hades 2 coming September 25th. And
Very
then
excited.
Linked Banner of the Spark, which is a roguelike battler / town builder / crafting game, is coming as well. Then they announced some new amiibos from Kirby's Air Riders that are going to show up. And then immediately dropped the only game I care about. Sorry, Hades 2. Hyrule Warriors coming November 6th.
Hell yeah, girl.
I am so hype. And then back to back to back, they're also getting One Piece Warriors game, and a Dynasty Warriors Origins is coming to Switch 2 as well. Then they dropped a game that I'm not sure I understand, that I'm gonna have to research, but based on the information, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, which is a remake, but twisted in a way that I don't understand. I don't know what the reimagined really means at all. Don't have a clue. But very curious. It looks gorgeous. It's Dragon Quest, so I don't exactly know what that means, but I'm very, very curious. Yeah, it could be like a Final Fantasy VII Remake where it's like, it's the same game, but is it? So I don't know. We'll find out. Then announced that I'm very excited for, even though it comes out in February next year, Fatal Frame 2 getting a remake for Switch 2. I'm going to make the boys in this off. We're playing that. It's going to be a Scary Game Squad. It's happening.
Yeah.
That I've wanted to play. We played Fatal Frame 1, and I've wanted to play Fatal Frame 2 with them for years, and we just couldn't get it to work. And now they're remaking it, and so here we are. Big time fan. Then they dropped a bunch of games on us immediately. We got Overcooked 2, Stardew Valley for Switch 2, Human Fall Flat for Switch 2, Power Wash Sim 2 for Switch 2, the Suika game is coming. We even got Metroid Prime 4 Beyond coming to Switch 2 in December. Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC, which actually seems interesting because they're including a mode called Emerald Rush, which is basically a roguelite where you collect emeralds, get perks, and then you use those perks to fight your way through it. So it's kind of like Hades.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, that's interesting. Then a Minecraft game I don't think anyone saw coming, but I feel like we should have, because it's their sort of answer to Power World, which is you play as a Ditto who transforms into a person and then uses the Pokemon skills of other Pokemon to Minecraft and build a world. And it's
that sounds
very
amazing.
Cute. Yes, it looks cute.
I want to play that.
Yeah, it's Pokemon Pokopia.
Okay.
And it looks so cute. But yeah, you're just a person with a Ditto face. And then you get other Pokemon to come live with you. And then they build the islands. You can build them homes. You can terraform the world. Yeah, it looked very, very cute. For those wondering, what did chat think of it? Everyone in chat was like, boring. And I was like, cool.
No, give me that game. That sounds
it looks
amazing.
very cute. It looks fun. Yeah. So I don't tend to figure out or even understand what goes on in chat these days. But yeah, every game, no matter what it was, chat during the stream was exploding with like 2 out of 10. This is trash. I was like, cool dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got more footage of Pokemon ZA, which comes out in October. And then they announced the DLC for that, a paid DLC called Mega Dimension, which is Raichu based. And there's 2 versions of Mega Raichu. I don't know. Then a new kind of ish Danganronpa game. It's Danganronpa 2, but it's called 2x2. And there's a bonus story in it.
Oh, okay.
So it's like an extra additional story is added to it. Then Monster Hunter Stories 3 is coming. And then they dropped a crazy bomb, which is not only is Resident Evil 9 coming to Switch 2, so are 7, so are 8, and then 2, 3, and 4 as well. So basically all the new Switches, or all the new Resident Evils are coming to Switch 2.
Right.
Then we got a Fire Emblem game called Fortune's Weave, which appears to be like Colosseum based. Like some sort of fighting tournament based story. And then, yeah, I guess that was kind of it for the live stream. But that's not it for Nintendo news, because Nintendo, hey everyone.
Hey buddy.
They claimed the patent for the literal concept of summoning creatures and making them fight for you, which is
ridiculous.
Insane. I watched lawyers this week be like, that shouldn't even be allowed.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like,
I love
people were like,
them
I don't know how this
like,
happened.
I love pretending like they didn't iterate on anything in order to make Pokemon.
Yeah, for the full-on description of what the patent describes this. The situation where a console or system is being used to run a video game from storage. The player controls a character in a virtual space. The player can perform an input command to make a sub-character appear, i.e. summon another character. If there's an enemy where the sub-character appears, the player can control a battle between the sub-character and the enemy. If there's no enemy where the sub-character appears, the sub-character will automatically move around. The player can move the sub-character to a different location on the field, and if an enemy is there, they can control a battle between the sub-character and the enemy. So, like, based on that alone, it's so vague that...
So vague. That includes so
battle
many
system
battlers. Magic the Gathering is literally entirely a summoning game. Like, what are we doing?
I'm thinking about the bonus game they added to World of Warcraft, which is literally just a little dumb pet battler. Is that now illegal? Like, what's the deal there? It is very, very, it's sort of like if you have a pet in your game or a character has a pet and you use that pet. Yeah, even Hunter and WoW. If you use a pet, what happens?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It seems a little too vague because it literally just says in a virtual space where you summon a sub character, not even a pet, a sub character. So that could be, if they, again, any patents are, the company must enforce them. So this isn't like, it's illegal, you can't do that. It's like if they want to come for you, they can.
Which is still ridiculous.
The question is, are they? And who are they going to go after?
Yeah.
Or is this the thing that exists so they can go after Pal World specifically?
Probably.
I don't know. It's so vague that it's literally like,
I don't know why they're allowed to do that at all, though. That seems very
We've
silly.
said this before. We've said this again. No matter how you feel about Nintendo of Japan don't give a shit about you. They literally have the worst intentions in mind. Every time there's an article where it's like, why did Nintendo do this? It's because Nintendo Japan just be like, we don't care. It's that way constantly. Which is weird because Nintendo of America and everyone here are sweethearts, absolute sweethearts.
No,
and
it's
you're just
true.
like, Nintendo Japan's like, we enforce our shit, which I get it. It's a massive company and it's huge. And it's like one of the mainstays of like that economy. But it is weird that they are so mean with that.
Yeah.
And yes, it's a US patent. It's a patent here in the US. But it's one of those things where, yeah, is that enforceable overseas for different things?
Right. Like,
I don't know. And the reason why you don't see this other places is, again, because everyone was like, this shouldn't be. This shouldn't be. I think it says a lot about the state of the U.S. right now, where it's like, yeah, no, well, yeah, it's a patent. Like, oh, okay.
Crazy.
Anyway, moving on. Speaking of, let's start with some good news.
Yeah.
Before we get to the news that sounds terrible. Machine Games recently just released the new Indiana Jones DLC, which is very fun. Like that a lot. They announced that we're getting more Wolfenstein, or potentially could be. And they said, hey, the series isn't finished, and we want to like come in with something good for you guys. And I trust them because hopefully they learned their lesson after the last Wolfenstein game, which was not great. Not because the game was bad or the characters were bad, because the mechanics of what the game was sucked, which was we're doing daily quests in a single player game and there's like online stuff. It was part of that movement where everyone was trying to make everything online and it wasn't good. And you don't know why they did it when the first like 2 hours of the game wasn't online. Anyway, speaking of online, Ubisoft confirms that Far Cry will no longer be the game you want to play. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Ubisoft confirmed this week they want to make more multiplayer aspects in these games for the future. So basically, they want Far Cry to be more of a multiplayer game in the future with more multiplayer online features, which is
that what people
just the most Ubisoft shit I've ever heard in my entire life. I just don't understand why they do this. Ubisoft just cannot help itself from making the most ridiculous choices. So here's another one. Don't understand that. Never will. But, yep, that's the news.
Oh, goodness. Thank you, Jesse.
My pleasure. Thank you.
You want to tell everybody what you're up to this week?
Well, this week, again, this weekend, I'm going to try and play some FMV games. But more importantly, tomorrow at noon, I'm part of a charity stream for Final Fantasy 14, where a bunch of people are playing PvP. And I'm not good at PvP, so don't expect greatness from me, but I'm doing it for charity. It's going to be fun. And there's all sorts of prizes and stuff. So tune in for that tomorrow at noon Pacific time. Should be a treat. I have no idea how long it'll go. Probably as long as it needs to. Then Monday again is a brand new episode of Tell Me About featuring speedrunning. Hopefully you'll tune in for that. And then Tuesday, you should get your Italian brain rot, which
Can't
get
wait.
ready. Yep. You might actually really like it. You might really like it. And then Thursday is probably going to be the episode on Amazing Digital Circus.
Thursday's another
I'll be
thing,
able to
isn't
stream. I was gonna wait, but okay, I'll announce it. No, we already did. We're doing Convergence.
We are.
Dodger and I are hosting on Thursday a nice indie game show. So if you want to tune in and watch us find out about all the new indie games that are coming out, we would love it if you did so.
Yeah. It's at 7:30 BST. What time will it be for you?
Whatever time that is. Hold on, I can look it up.
7:30 minus 8. 11?
11:30. Yeah, 11 a.m.
Yeah, so that should be fun. Jesse and I are going to host it. We've got a lot of good guests. There's going to be trailers and gameplay, and it'll be great.
Yep, it's going to be a ton of fun. And a lot of special guests from podcasts that are, I'm going to say, not as good as this one.
They're all right.
They're all right. They're fine. Yeah, but if you're like bored on a Sunday, I guess you could watch them or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, That's this coming Thursday for those of you who are asking, which is the 18th.
It's gonna be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to nerd out with Dukes. We get to see some cool stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Is that all of your announcements?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm still playing Silksong. I finished off. Dude, I have to keep playing Road to Empress. That game is so wild. I have to reach an ending at least. I'm so excited. It's been so silly. It's very, very fun. After that, I'm not really sure what we'll play. But again, we've got this cool thing going on Thursday. So we'll see. I'm just gonna stream my little pants off. So
Tuesday night.
Yes.
You and I are gonna play a game as well.
Yes. Tuesday night we're playing. Oh my gosh, what is it called? Astronomo. That is it.
You were about to say it, and then you gave up on it.
I know.
You're like, I can't.
That's wrong. We have a brand deal together playing Astronomo, so that'll be fun.
So tune in for that as well.
Yeah. That's it for us, gang. Hey, if you enjoyed Geekenders, if this is your first time watching it, you can find all of the past Geekenders on youtube.com/Jesse Cox. We're on the podcasties. You can listen to us audio only in the car, whatever works for you. We're all over the place. So yeah, that's it for us. We're going to go do whatever we're going to do for the rest of the day. You're welcome. That was a really eloquent way to put that. Hey, gang, we'll see you next time. Have an amazing weekend, and we'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for the Geekenders podcast. MegaRan, Jesse and Dodger, what up? Let's go. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow and see what the Geekenders are all about. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt. Yo, another end of another long week. Got a job and a kid, I know that you all beat. So take a second, grab a drink and vibe while we catch you up in just a matter of time. On gaming, comics, whatever you're doing. If you're nerdy like us, then you know you should tune in. Thank you for sharing our world with us. Now follow, subscribe, and turn this up. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, scream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt.